Jorrit, go ahead and take over and talk to us about what happens if you sold on other places besides just Amazon. Jorrit,
Yeah.
let's welcome him.
Thank you guys for having me. Steve, thank you for putting me as the only obstacle in between now and the drinks. But I promise you guys I have a little bit of some nice hidden nuggets where you can actually make money with the skills you guys have. So when we talked earlier, Steve said, well, we want to talk about multi-channel marketplace selling. I said, all right, fine. Most speeches is like, yeah, you can do this on Amazon and on a few more marketplaces, but you guys know more about Amazon than I do. So first slide is going to be, who are you guys? So I think it was so nice to actually ask who is selling on Amazon US, who is selling on Amazon EU. So most of you are selling on Amazon EU already. I'm at the moment primarily focused on expanding throughout Europe because it's nice and challenging. Who of you guys are selling on different marketplaces than Amazon? Anywhere in the world? What marketplace are you selling?
So outside, no. So
Outside.
That's question for me, so.
No.
Website aside. Website aside.
Website aside. So any other marketplace than Amazon? Nobody?
eBay a little.
eBay, yeah. It's actually the most horrible marketplace. So I can imagine if you ever sold on eBay, you will never try another marketplace again. But it is going to be worth it. Most of you guys are selling in Europe. Are you all doing FBA?
Yes.
Or does anyone of you have a 3PL logistics provider?
Working on it.
Some working on it? Your own warehouse? Anybody in your own warehouse?
Just side note, in Germany, it's free to ship from a German warehouse into Amazon using DHL.
All right.
Like even 30 cartons, 40 cartons, if you're in Canada.
So you're going to store it in Germany?
German warehouses are expensive.
Well, I'll have to say it later.
Who of you guys have your own website, a web store? Alright, so that's a little bit of multi-channel selling. Well, who am I? My name, kind of hard to pronounce, Jorrit in Dutch. 15 years full-time focus in e-commerce. I set up an e-commerce software development company, so we're doing e-commerce platforms for all kinds of companies. Retail chains, media companies, integrations with ERP systems, etc. Also, as sort of a spun-out side project with one of my clients, he had one shop with a little seller with some products, and said, well, let's start a shop together. In the end, we had 65 shops running concurrently. That was in the time where there were no drop shipping suppliers, no FBA, so we had our own warehouse, and then the next warehouse, and then the third warehouse, and too many employees, too many shops, only doing all these little front ends. It was multi-channel selling. Basically, instead of one store, we did SEO marketing and affiliate marketing for very specific niches. At the moment that doesn't work anymore, but in that period of time we started selling from the same system on local marketplaces and Amazon as well. To be able to do that from our own facility, we needed to do all kinds of integrations. We had software developers, and I wanted this rule and pricing engines and all kinds of business rules. I drove them crazy, so I decided 5 years ago to develop a platform where we can do that in a scalable fashion. So that's Channel Engine. We've been doing that for 5 years. I won't go into depth with Channel Engine. We can do that later if you guys are interested. I've got a background in Master of Science production, automation, and supply chain. So I like to link things together and automate them as much as possible. When we talked about multi-country marketplaces selling outside of Amazon US at the moment, I think most of you guys, of course, currently do that. Actually, if you sell on Amazon in Germany, you're not only selling to Germans, but you're selling to more countries as well. I'll show you in a minute. The good advantage against the US is that you have less competition, less competent competition, because there's not that many people actually knowing what to do, so you step back in time. But also multi-country buyers. So the Netherlands, a lot of people from the Netherlands buy on Amazon in Germany, Denmark, Switzerland, Austria. The only people not buying is people from France, because they will only want to buy from the French side. Alright, that's good, yeah. So you guys are already dominating on Amazon, I guess. So that's good. But what's next? You guys have products, you have experience, you know all the little tricks, how to get reviews, etc. Amazon is making it harder and harder to create good listings, but the good thing is there are more options to sell your products. This is the case anywhere in the world. In Europe there are many marketplaces, so if you look at one of the examples, Cdiscount in France, we've got Price Minister, we've got Spartoo, which is a fashion portal, we've got eBay in the UK, bol.com in the Netherlands, Coolshop Denmark, ePrice, I can go on and on and on and on. But then you have apps as well. I'll go into that. Wish. How many of you have heard of Wish? Alright, I'll go, there's one slide about Wish, that's good. Rakuten, and there's many more things coming towards Europe as well. You've got the bigger marketplaces like Cdiscount and bol.com are very specific for that country. More general marketplaces like Amazon, and then you've got a lot of fashion marketplaces like Otto, you've got Zalando, there's many more coming. So depending on what kind of product you sell, it can be extremely interesting to do so. Why? Because it's lower traffic, but still there's much less competition. If you take Amazon, it's 553 million products, it changes all the time, more than 3 million sellers. Not all of them are active, but a lot of sellers, and even a lot of education about selling on Amazon. You guys know all the videos and you know all the tricks. There are 310 million active customers. If you compare that to bol.com, which is the Dutch equivalent, there is only 17 million products, 20,000 sellers, and 8 million active customers. 20,000 sellers is about 0.7% of the sellers that are on Amazon. There are more active customers. If you look at Cdiscount's 30 million products, 10,000 sellers, and 8.4 active customers. If you look at the correlation or the customer's seller rate, there's 103 customers per seller on Amazon. If you compare that to Cdiscount's 840 customers per seller on Cdiscount. So you can imagine what kind of opportunity is in there on that side. Much less products, so even if you launch a new product, you're bound to be able to launch it earlier and easier on the front page, the first page. Less products, but also the algorithms are not as sophisticated. Amazon has years of experience trying to get all these tricks out of the book. All these new marketplaces are just happy that you start selling on a new marketplace. Even on bol.com, you can just even buy clicks on the product page, and you can just boost ranking without selling anything. So there are a lot of things you can try out. So it's actually going back in time 4 or 5 years on Amazon and being able to do those things, launching new products. There are guys doing it at the moment who are extremely successful. They learned the tricks on Amazon and are applying it at the local marketplace at the moment. Some examples. I just took any product I found on the homepage on Amazon. You can see it, if you can read it, $49.99. There are a bunch of sellers. If you take the same product on Coolshop, for instance, it's 65 euros. So even because there's less competition, the prices are going to be higher. On Coolshop, there's only one seller doing backpacks, suitcases, and all these kinds of things. There are categories on this marketplace, which is the leader in Denmark. Just one seller in a category. Imagine that. You can just dictate the prices.
Is that a strategic choice or just no other sellers there yet?
Just new, no other sellers yet. It's a small country, but because it's just one marketplace, there's one other just started up. It's an incredible opportunity. If you look at this, a Nerf gun, you can buy and sell anywhere. On Amazon there are 142 sellers for this specific product. It's $12.99. If you look at bol.com, 19.99. If you look at Cdiscount, 29 euros. Keep in mind, 8.4 million customers, 18 million unique visits per month. So keep in mind, if you have a product that sells well on any of the marketplaces, it definitely makes sense to try it out on one of those local things. One of the showcases, you guys are mostly white label sellers, so you have your own products. At Channel Engine we open up marketplaces for brands, for wholesalers, distributors, even shopping chains that have products that are already listed on Amazon or any of the other marketplaces. One of our clients, a big e-commerce store, has a huge warehouse with all kinds of brand suitcases, bags, etc. They decided to connect through Channel Engine towards these marketplaces. They listed the products, so we actually hooked on the products on the existing listings, and within 2 days they switched it off because they have 1,500 orders and their distribution wasn't ready for it. That's all. It's a different ballgame. If you have products, brand products, you need to do price optimization, so you need to have large scale, good logistics, etc. But you can imagine the potential in that. We do have customers with 60,000, even one with 400,000 SKUs, which we can just upload into the system, so that's going to be different. These guys don't know anything about optimizing on Amazon. Nothing. So for you guys, there's a huge opportunity.
They do FBM, so they have their own FBM.
They do FBM now. Usually they do FBM combined with FBA. As soon as our top sellers, they do FBA. And we actually implemented the switch as soon as FBA runs out, we switch automatically back to FBM. So, for these guys, it looks like this. So they have one single place where they can manage all the channels. There's one very small company, I think there are 5 people. They're purchasing brand products from companies going bankrupt. They buy from all over the place and they list it on all kinds of marketplaces. This is their shop. They don't sell anything on their shop. Everything is going to all the marketplaces. What they do is a little bit more diverse than just Amazon. They actually do it like this. And they sell on all those marketplaces. So some are just a couple of orders per day, but imagine having so many channels.
Through Channel Engine.
Through Channel Engine or any other integrator. Yeah, you can just connect, and then the main thing is if you want to sell on all those marketplaces, is that you have, and you do it FBM, that you have good stock synchronization, pricing management, etc. So I'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, sure.
For the non-Amazon marketplaces there, how much workload is customer service?
For customer service?
Yeah.
That depends a little bit on how well your products are described, etc. So you guys all know that customer service is the main question would be if it isn't shipped fast enough or if there's a defect. Of course, fashion has a higher return rate. So those questions will be there if you don't have good emails explaining the return process, etc. But they are actually running this throughout Europe without any native speakers from the other countries. So they're Dutch, they speak English, they can do a little bit of German, a little bit of French, but they use translation software. And not Google Translate, because that's horrible. I'll share a link with you guys. It's Deepal, that's a German scientists group that actually did machine learning, and the result is way better than any other translator at the moment. So I was actually corresponding with the director of Carrefour in Spain, in Spanish, and he called me, and he thought I was speaking fluently Spanish, but he was the translator.
So before you jump, just
Yeah.
on that
Sure.
whole list of channels you've got there,
Yeah.
what's is there a pattern around who's doing the biggest volume in terms of which channels?
Yeah.
You know, that's not-
It depends on the product you have. So if you're selling fashion, it's bound to be all the fashion channels. But if you look at this place, most volume is in bol.com, Cdiscount, and Amazon. So it's quite a lot. You see sellers doing the same products on Amazon Germany and bol.com. they sell more on bol.com because there are less competitors and you can optimize it easily. So it's insane. They even choose to not list certain products on Amazon because there's so much competition. Of course, it's different with white label shops, white label products, but there's huge opportunity there. Of course, it's not that easy to just list new products. It's easy to get A-brand products and get your EAN and just hook it on and sell it. So if you want to list in France, you have to have it translated. That's not that hard. You've got sites like Fiverr, and you can just upload the whole list and get it translated back, and it doesn't cost much as well. So there are guys on Fiverr that actually optimize for listings. So they are experienced with Amazon. Use those people to translate your products. They know about keyword density, they know about length of titles, etc. If you apply all these things to the other marketplace, it's bound to work well. Amazon is the hardest part to optimize, so if you do all those things well on the other marketplaces, you're way ahead of the other competition. Language for customer service, that's going to be the hardest part. Try to do as much via email as possible. I think bots are going to be handy in the near future. Most people don't mind if it's not fluently, so it works well. Managing competition and pricing, that's another opportunity. The prices are completely different between all the marketplaces. It's not one flat area. You saw the price changes between the different marketplaces, but it's even on Amazon, Germany, France, Spain, there are completely different price sets for different products. So there's an opportunity to optimize. If you have 50 products left, just switch on one country and then sell on the other one. Logistics, that's one of the things that is important for Europe. You can use FBA. There's also a thing called a multi-channel FBA. Has anyone of you guys ever used multi-channel FBA? Yeah? All right, well. You can actually use it to send the products from FBA warehouse towards the customers of Cdiscount. So you can actually use it to supply all the other marketplaces. Some marketplaces have their own fulfillment solution. Some of our customers have 3PL or their own warehouse, which you can do a lot of things. We actually have a customer in France that had 2 warehouses in France. Then they ran out of stock and they shipped something from the Netherlands, and it was faster to ship from the Netherlands to a customer in France than it was from France to France. That's because in Rotterdam there's a lot of freight coming in and there's a lot of good logistics routes. So many companies are starting warehouses in the Netherlands or in Germany to supply a good part of Europe. For Spain, it's good to just use FBA. Italy as well. Stock allocation, that's something you have to be wary of. You want to replenish FBA as fast as possible, so you need to use the tools to actually see what kind of levels you have in your own warehouse, 3PL provider, FBA. You even have LVB, FBC, all these marketplaces are launching new logistical warehouses as well, so it's good to keep it in mind, but there are very good solutions to do so in an automated way. Returns is one of the things that is something you have to set up well. You guys probably know as well, each country, it is good for your ranking and review to have a good return location, which is local. So in France and Germany, there are small companies that just are a hub, so they can take your returns and ship it to your central warehouse if you want. And then VAT rules. I saw a whole sheet of lists, so perfect. If you guys have any questions about VAT rules for selling to consumers in Europe, you can ask me, and if it's more complex, I can direct you to the right people. But the basic rules aren't that complex, but you need to keep it in mind. It is actually smart to register for the correct VAT. For instance, you saw on the sheet, in some countries it's 21%, in Germany it's 19%, so that's actually 2% margin. So that's a thing you should do fast. What else? We talked about machine learning. You guys know about Wish. Wish is started originally in the US. It's an app, sort of a marketplace, but they're getting huge. Instead of having product listings like Amazon, where you can actually optimize and have multiple offers on it, on Wish it's one big bucket of products, and they optimize based on machine learning, based on the consumers. So these are actually 3 different front pages based on what you looked at. So these are for individual people. We have had a few merchants started selling on Wish. It's very easy to list. You just push your product content in, nobody checks it. It can be in English, you don't need any attributes, you don't need any keyword optimization. Just push it in, and it takes a few weeks before the algorithm takes it up. But we've seen some incredible results. One thing that's going to be weird, we push in the price of the product and the shipping price, and then I saw a different price and a different shipping price on Wish. So I said, well, guys, something's wrong. He said, no, that's just you, because apparently, according to your behavioral profile, you're more likely to buy a cheap product and pay a little bit extra shipping. And other people don't want to pay shipping, and they don't mind paying more for the product. So they do machine learning based optimization of pricing and shipping, but the total will be the same.
Right.
So that's one of the examples of machine learning at the moment doing well. So be wary of these kind of platforms. There are a lot of Chinese crap on it at the moment, but they're onboarding a lot of quality sellers. As soon as you're a good quality seller and have 3PL in Europe or in the US, you can apply for Wish Express, which makes you bump up in the rankings because you deliver fast. Then you can even have higher prices, and they're actually upping the game. Why is that interesting? At the moment, more than 300 million active customers already, 300,000 new users every day, and 1 billion in funding, and everything's machine learning based. So there's a good opportunity if you have a niche product. Try to sell it there. Try to learn the game, and there are going to be many more platforms like these, where you can have exactly the same product. You have your sourcing already, you have your logistics. So try it out. Don't wait too long, because there's competition coming in as well. But try it out. Why will you do extremely well? Because not only the other sellers are not very savvy, but also the people running the marketplace have no clue about these optimization skills. No clue at all. I know, I speak to a lot of these people managing the sellers, and they're happy that you can just list the products and sell it. And they're looking at the delivery rates and the cancellation rates, and that's about the level at the moment. So, of course, there are in the rules, you cannot put any flyers in the box and stuff like that. Nobody's enforcing it at the moment. So it's a sort of a Wild West. I told you there are more buyers per seller. You can try all your black hat stuff, with ranking, getting reviews, inserts, and there's even one marketplace that isn't scrambling the email address, so you just get the email address. Good luck with that.
Besides eBay? Yeah, a marketplace besides eBay gives you eBay?
Yeah, this is basically a comparison site that changed into a marketplace. And they say, well, we get the order, we give you the customer, good luck with that. Any returns, your problem. Yeah. But there's a huge opportunity in that. Yes. How to start, analyze the potential. There's a lot of information on the website. I can provide you guys with information for European channels. If you say, well, we have this kind of product, where should we start? Just pick one. Make sure you have a 3PL or your own logistics, or use multi-channel FBA to be able to ship well, so you get good reviews. And just test it out. Just start with one marketplace, optimize maybe your top 5 products, and just try it out. The penalties aren't that fast or hard as Amazon, so you won't get blocked for 3 months. Usually it's a call or an email. I'm sorry, there was something wrong, and switch it on again. So you can actually experiment a lot. So that's good. Try to have a 3PL in one location where you can just deliver to all the countries, and use the right tooling to actually optimize. So You will get blocked if you don't ship it fast, or when you don't provide the track trace number, etc. But just try it out. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, but that's not the only thing. There is just one open ball where you can just jump in, play around. Nobody's going to penalize you too hard. So I hope I shed some light into a new world. Triggered you a little bit. And I do have some time for questions to see if you guys are going to be the ones selling on other marketplaces.
Jim, I see a question right there.
Yeah, this is just the integration. So like, I've messed around with Joe Lister and other sort of channel tools,
Yeah.
and it can be quite clunky because it kind of like scrapes your listing and automatically puts into eBay.
Alright, yeah.
How does this work? How do I get a beautifully optimized listing?
If you want to,
any work?
it is like any other tool, garbage in is garbage out. So you need to have a good BIM system, or it can be any e-commerce platform. So if you have good content, it can be in English as the basis, then you can have that coming into General Engine, and then from there we can apply all kinds of rules to push it to your marketplaces.
So does it? Can it take from Amazon listings to create listings on Bowl or?
No, not at the moment, because it's against terms and conditions to actually get it off. We could do it, but General Engine is basically focused on actually integrating all the
So it
processes.
must create like one master listing, and then
Yeah, if you want master listing, yeah.
Right.
So you can do it, but what I would do is just get a BIM or e-commerce platform.
Yeah.
Go to Fiverr, tell someone these are your ends, how you want to scrape and put it in.
Shopify's not on your website. Do you integrate with Shopify?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Yeah. But the main thing, what I can show you a demo later if you're up for it. I'm not about to pitch, but what we do is synchronization of stock, pricing optimizations, business rules, but also the orders come into your own system. We do VAT invoicing and stuff like that, just to take the hassle out of managing many of these marketplaces. Most of our clients have just one or two people managing all of them. So that's
great.
Other questions?
So payments, so how's payment handled?
I think it's the same way you're doing it now. So you are a contractor, you've got an account at Amazon, you get an API key, and General Engine basically just synchronizes all the processes and makes you optimize it. But the payment is going the same way into your bank account.
So we would have to, we set up the account?
You set up the account, yeah.
But then we use a link to.
It's similar to if you ever integrated anything like Managed by Stats with Amazon, you give the MWS for Managed by Stats, all those marketplaces have the same kind of APIs.
Yeah, and sometimes you have SRD and an API key, you put it in and then we synchronize them. And some marketplaces are harder to get products listed, like Amazon. If you actually need to create new products, then there's quite a few steps to do. If you have quality product content and you want to sell on Cool Shop, Cdiscount, Wish, we can actually instantly push it. I've got examples where you can just put in a plugin in Magento or any other platform, pull out the products, and then push it into the platform and they can sell within a day. So that's.
We need your business card.
Matt, go ahead.
So for us, would we link our Amazon with Channel Engine, or would we keep that? I guess it would have to be for that FBM fulfillment, but would
For
how would it
FBM,
work with our
yeah.
sales on Amazon?
Yeah, we can actually manage the part for Amazon. If you guys are up for it, I can later these days I can do a demo and talk a little bit more into specifics how these things work, where you can actually link up and synchronize, and we actually do get pricing. So if you sell a brand product which others are selling as well, we instantly get pushed the price of the product when there's a change or when the stock changes. So we actually optimize the pricing, not only to a lower price, but as soon as someone runs out of stock, we go up again. Or if someone else has a bad rating, you can exclude them and stuff like that. So, yes.
That's especially relevant when you're selling other people's branded stuff.
Yeah.
But price management is an important thing, even for private label guys downstream. Who else has questions? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Nicole.
On the website, so our own web sales, can that be plugged in as well? So I've got it all in one
Yeah, how it currently works is when you have a shop, we cannot connect your shop to other marketplaces, but we have a roadmap for this year to actually have all the shops as sort of channels as well. So we do have custom channels where you can have an API. We do have do work with large brands and distributors that want to sell to other companies. So not only any of the open marketplace, but closed marketplace or maybe a reseller. They integrate with the API, so they can actually say, well, you get these brands and these conditions. That's it, and all the orders come in and they ship it directly to the end consumer.
And are these, out of these, so Bold.com, Cdiscount, in terms of kind of growth of these, in terms of how e-commerce growing, but in terms of these businesses?
Yeah.
So aren't they going to be attacked by the likes of, Amazon?
They're going to be attacked, but per country it's different. You see niche marketplaces coming up. For instance, if you shop for fashion, Amazon doesn't give the best experience. So there are different marketplaces doing much better in fashion terms. We have business-to-business marketplaces for car tooling, for all kinds of accessories, and these are coming up very rapidly. So and those are opportunities as well. If you know suppliers and for certain car parts or accessories or things in the car, that's a completely different market, and then you can charge different prices as well.
Yeah, so one premise that we all, oh, Jack, did you have a question?
Are you seeing retail arbitrage, and what about trademark protection on these marketplaces?
Trademark protection?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do check. It's basically same thing as with Amazon. If you upload fragrances or from Chanel, then you need to supply an invoice. That's with some of the marketplaces they do that as well. Most, not at all. So I know some of the marketplaces have a problem with plugs like this, saying, well, it's Apple. So they try to squeeze that out, but they're not that sophisticated. So they do check, but it's more or less a manual thing. So you can basically sell anything. And,
But you're worried about other people selling your brand, is that what you're saying?
As well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
software coming in and then just taking over, please.
These things, I mean, so probably somebody's already selling your brand on eBay. The question that, when it comes to trademark, is if they're selling something that's authentic and they got it through a legal means, there's nothing you can do about it.
the thing is with these marketplaces, if there's something that's bothering you, you can actually approach them, call them, email them, and you actually get a response.
Yeah, so just as some examples, so with Wish, we have a Wish contact that if you guys want to try to list your stuff on Wish and get it going, we can get you connected with her and she'll get you into kind of a special beta program for Catalyst members where she'll give you extra exposure and she'll give you she'll show your listing more love than it would. It's been difficult for members to get traction because the perception of Wish shoppers is still, it's like, what can I buy for $1? And I'm happy to see after some number of weeks, they're starting to get traction. Are they selling dollar stuff or €1 types of items, or are they selling regular price stuff?
50, 70 euro.
Okay, so that's what Wish says is going to happen, is that over time with their machine learning, they're showing the right people the right offers, right? And the Wish Express piece is their attempt to go, you know what, instead of us, so they got their start by just listing cheap stuff that China sells via e-packets. And now they're going, well, what if Wish Express can be 5-day delivery, right? And we're all like, 5 days, that's a dream, that's easy. Then they'll rank you higher, right? You talked about that.
Yeah.
And in this special little Catalyst 8, we had a rep from Wish come out last year, or maybe, end of last year, and talk to us. And, they would love to get more people onto that. She's the US person, but I'm sure she knows the EU person.
I've got contacts with the EU persons, and also with the other marketplace. If you want to try one of them, just ask me and I can get you in touch. And you can even start manually or stuff like that, but it's worth it to figure it out. And also with Wish, it's gonna change slowly to be a better marketplace for all the products, and there are gonna be more opportunities as well, new marketplaces, but there are also huge e-commerce stores at the moment transforming into marketplaces.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep less stock, they see the business model work. So these are opportunities where you actually have, we get these stores and they say, well, we're going to be a marketplace, do you have sellers for us?
Right.
And they even allow exclusivity in certain categories if you help them fill the category.
Yeah.
So imagine the opportunity there.
This is really the point, is right, as you start thinking about, now again, the paradigm that we're trying to break is people buy stuff beyond Amazon. It's hard for us to imagine. Right? I got Prime, that's where I do all my stuff, and I'm speaking for myself. I have Prime, I don't want it to really go outside of Amazon. It's a big pain when I have to do it, but that's not how everybody is. We sell stuff on Staples and Brookstone, and you know the list goes on and on for the different marketplaces. And every customer that we get at Staples or Office Depot or Brookstone would never have bought from Amazon. The people who are buying on Wish would never have bought from Amazon because they're a different demographic. It's a different shopping experience. The whole thing's different, and that's the point. And even though Amazon's still the definitely dominant force, and we want to maximize it, there's they're only 50% of the market. That means 50% more out there. And how do you get it?
And especially better margins.
Yeah, well, that would be nice. A little perk. So, anybody have any other questions for Jorrit? I got
So it's just mechanics. So you need basically a current web store, not Shopify.
Or in a payment system, or
That can then plug into Channel Engine,
yeah,
into different markets or marketplaces.
yeah,
But let me
And
say,
it can be fulfilled still using FBM.
yeah. You can use
Will FBM be shipping quick enough for all those stores?
yes, yeah.
It will.
If you just ship it yourself, it's going to be quick enough. Usually the
Because FBM is normally like 5 days, 7 days.
yeah, you can use FBM, but I would recommend to use a third-party logistics provider because there's so many of them. It's commodity, so the prices are low. So I would recommend
So go one market,
to
third party.
take 5 products or 10 products that you know do well. Just put in a couple of pallets in a third-party logistics provider and start.
And then try different channels in one marketplace from that 3PM.
Yeah, yeah.
but let me ask a procedural question. Can a user bring a spreadsheet in whatever format that you accept and import that spreadsheet into your system?
Yeah.
So how many of
You
you?
can even use Google Docs and we can link it, and if you change it,
So there you
runs
go.
through the API. Yeah.
So most of you guys probably, your main database is a spreadsheet, make it a Google Doc, and it stays integrated with his thing.
Yeah.
There's your single source of content origin. It goes into a system like Channel Advisor. And by the way, Jorrit is here at my invitation, not to say go buy Channel Engine, but to say, look at this opportunity, and the obstacle, when you think of if we came and just showed you all the opportunities without a solution, that's a half-assed job. So, and I'm whole-assing this job, baby. So, the point though is that I've been using, there's a company called Channel Advisor since maybe 2002, 2003. We probably went off again with them and probably put them back in 2010. Extraordinarily expensive. Very onerous, and by the way, I can negotiate really well, and it's still expensive. And it's just, the juice ain't worth the squeeze unless you have a lot of items and a lot of marketplaces. It's just tough to make it work. Whereas, I think the approach that these guys are taking, and we're trying to work together, for the benefit of the group, to have kind of a big picture strategic deal, to make sure that everybody's kind of on the same line of value, right? The software company has to do well so it can continue to invest and make itself better. You guys have to have a good margin, and everybody wins in that arrangement. And so he's here because after literally studying dozens of these and having just a horrible experience with, and by the way, Channel Advisor, it's half horrible, half okay, and 1% awesome. I mean, they do some stuff okay, but most of it's, bittersweet. But we tried to put in another integrator that we found out of India that have the technology, they have the right stuff on their website. Let me say that. And we even implemented them, and it was kind of painful, but it worked. But they're not they're not awesome, right? And my mission is to really kind of match awesomers with awesomers. And I think after investigating Jorrit, and we've looked at demos, and we're going all in on this solution. So take that for what it's worth. But if you guys get a chance, and even if you don't have a chance here, we can do a web conference where we just take you through a demo and we just talk about it and show you what it's all about up close. If you guys think that'd be valuable.
Yeah.
Raise your hands if you think
And I
that.
would love your guys' feedback as well, because you guys know much more about optimizing on Amazon. And what we do is, in between your own current system and any marketplace, we want to provide value. So if there's anything you run into, and that's also why I stick around these days, to see what kind of things you run into, or where you can optimize, or where you can win the game. I'd like to see if we can make the product or platform better.
The use cases you guys have about how you originate data. So I actually think for the line item data that you guys have in your spreadsheet, that's good to keep that master database. This is my suggestion to you. This is how we do it, actually. Although we're using Channel Advisor, on a contract basis today, but we have a master spreadsheet. It's got all the data, and I don't know. It goes to so many columns. It's got multiple letters in them. So many data columns. That's the single source of truth, as we like to call it for our ERP solution. That then goes into Channel Advisor. All the images are managed in Channel Advisor. And that can also work in Channel Sale, yes? Upload the images. So you put the images in there, then it's pushing images out to all the marketplaces. So now that's your master database, really. When you want to make changes, instead of going and edit the individual listings, you make them in the spreadsheet. Awesome that you can do a Google Sheet. So that's all your text management, but all your image management stays in Channel Sale or Channel Advisor in my case. And I would just, Channel Sale, Channel Advisor. All these guys got the names. Yeah. So you would just channel. Yeah, they did. So Channel Advisor, by the way, very hilarious company. If you look at their public stock performance, not awesome. That said, they're big. Very big. So, any questions on this kind of a concept?
Besides other US, Asia.
Oh, she just said the same thing.
Yeah, the focus is now on Europe, but we do have Amazon and eBay in the US currently in beta. We're going to first customers. And so we're going to expand to the US and to Australia as well. But we did focus and do focus on the EU because we can add most value compared to other solutions in the market at the moment. So we're expanding that.
Don't worry, we're going to push him. I saw, was it Rob? I saw you did the same question. Okay, Jim?
You mentioned Black Hat and ranking and launching.
Yeah, Black Hat, but on these marketplaces it's called White Hat.
Okay, so you know how the algos work on each of the platforms. That's, I guess, like,
Sort of. They don't tell you, but it's much easier than.
so like all keyword ranking and stuff like that.
Keywords work.
We need a specific strategy for each platform, and what's
Yeah, but basically, if you try, if you do all the things you do on Amazon and apply them on the other marketplaces, it's with the long titles, and some don't even have keyword boxes, or so you have to have the keywords in your text, and so it's basically SEO. It's like you used to do for Google. So it's keyword density, titles doing well, images must be high quality. So it's the same for all the marketplace. Basically, you're optimized for the end consumer, and then you will do well. And then you can do a whole bunch of tricks to actually spike the ranking.
like?
Inspired on Amazon.
Everything we used to do on Amazon 4 years ago that worked still works on these other. They have no idea. We were, you guys may have been there. We were in eBay and we're like, can we send out, can we do giveaways? They're like, giveaway? Why would you give something away? We're like, but can we email the customer? Like, of course you can email the customer. You have their email, right? You can do stuff. And by the way, eBay still does $90 billion globally. And as crappy as they are as a marketplace to work with, they still sell stuff, a lot of stuff. And these guys, is it just one eBay market or do you do all of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay, yeah. So to me, the obstacle when you think about multi-channel is how do I do it? So systems are one part of it, right? So we just talked about a potential system solution, and I've researched no less than 23 of these things. And the second bit is how you're going to do the fulfillment. And I know of 1 or 2 places in the UK that would be a viable place to be a 3PL for you. And even if you're not going to do multi-channel, if you haven't looked at your pricing at FBA recently and thought about how you should stage and use a staging warehouse as a strategy, you're really missing the boat. If you're going to scale a business, you cannot afford FBA to have 2 or 3 months of inventory in there. It's just not going to work long term, especially across a broad range of products. Does everybody kind of understand where I'm coming from here?
Yeah.
It's too expensive.
The prices have gone up. The long-term storage is now like a monthly tax kind of idea,
Yeah.
and you're just going to be bled dry by FBA. And they're forcing you to get really good at staging. So you'll land your inventory at a 3PL, you'll stage it, and then you'll ship just in time on a more frequent basis.
2 months.
Yeah, and I would do a little less than 2 if you can, depending on the category.
And also there's a lot of competition between 3PL providers in Europe or the whole world. So it's very easy to negotiate, especially if you have some volume going already. Just negotiate, usually they have some space left and they need to fill it up. So just try it out. Most of them are very well automated, some aren't, skip those.
Yeah. Definitely want guys who can be fully integrated with your system.
Just on that, I've got a friend who's got a 3PL in Gibraltar,
Yeah,
which means that he can ship from Gibraltar all over Europe in 2 days,
yeah.
and you don't have to charge VAT. So you get a 20% price advantage.
Interesting.
But the product's got to be small. I can't remember the dimensions. I can find out.
Let's get the details on that.
Yeah.
It's got to be under a certain price point.
Certain price point and certain.
Oh, the price point is on the import, so 15 pounds.
$100.
15 pounds or euros.
That's just what you declared.
But it's good to have these differences. Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Retail price, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's got to be tiny. I mean, it's got to be, I can't remember what size.
It's basically mail that is non.
And silly stuff like if someone buys 4 units, each unit has to go out separately, but they manage all that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you save 20%, you save 20%, so you don't pay any VAT. So you can either price cheap or make a load of money.
The problem is on those low cost items, 20% is you could eat that in shipping, or you could eat that in any number of ways. I love the solution if you have that kind of item. And again, there's UK stuff, there's German stuff. We have a couple of guys in the US we can introduce you to that we've gotten kind of deals negotiated with as well. So just think, you know, the 2 biggest obstacles are systems and logistics for this concept. You already do on the marketing, you already have the items, you already have the inventory, and it's one inventory that runs all of that, and it's synchronized. If you sell here, everything else is unavailable, it goes down by 1. So it's a big deal. Any final questions on this topic? Okay, let's give it up for Jorrit. Okay, so somebody give me a takeaway from today. You can take a minute to think about it, but I'm just going to go around the room and ask for a takeaway, so buckle up. You don't know which side of the room I'm going to start from either. Could be in the middle, could be a corner, could be down here, could be over there. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a little logistical roundup and give you guys time to think about your takeaway. So one is, that's Brad right there. Brad's our video and AV guy, so he's doing all this great stuff. So, you know, if you guys have questions or need information about anything, AV, Brad's the man. That's Jeff over there. He's standing there. Jeff is kind of the lead wrangler. He's going to always be prodding you and say, hey, go back in the room. Hey, it's time to eat. Hey, you know, go over there, do this. But he's doing that to keep us all moving. So that's wrangler. Melissa's over there. She's helping do all of the things that need to be done. So most of it will have to do with like you should email your stuff to her to get her your presentation, for example. And make sure that you know, you get that stuff to her, and she's going to coordinate kind of all the details. And then, of course, you guys already met Michael. So that's one detail. Was there anything else? I'm going to talk about.
No, I was just reminding to stick on the wall. I'll pick them up as they fall.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yeah,
they fall
this
out?
idea. Yeah.
Okay, good. And okay, so what was there another thing? Oh, dinner. So at 6, meet in the lobby, please. the hotel lobby. Who's gonna drive?
You got it?
You have a car.
Just go drive.
Are you guys gonna hang here for a happy hour or just?
Yeah,
be-
either way.
Okay. So, do you guys wanna take people with you or?
Okay.
Okay. I could maybe call off a taxi or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how many can you take?
We can get forward.
All right, so raise your hands if you're going with Jason.
His car's good.
Oh, his car's good, I like that.
I'll have you go.
All right, Jim's gonna go in, yeah, you guys too. All right, so Jason, you're captain of that team there. Melissa, make sure you're making a note of this.
Yeah.
By the way, this is why I don't do any work. Josh can get 3 more. Okay, who wants to go with Josh? All right, just the 3 that are right here, just to make it easy on me. So, Melissa, right there, that's Josh's. Josh, you're the team captain, be ready.
Yeah.
6 o'clock, I'm gonna go, captains, are we ready? And then, oh, you had a car, how many you wanna take?
3 more.
3 more, who wants to go with Jorrit? Okay, Michael,
Yeah.
Matt, that's 2. Oh, I'm sorry, Martina over there. Oh, sorry, Jack, I didn't get to you. I was scanning this way. Is that clockwise? All right, so that's
3.
3.
Martina.
Okay, Melissa, you got that?
Thought you were staying.
All right, you're the captain of that ship. So at 6, we're gonna meet in the lobby. We'll be milling around, and this is when entrepreneurs lose their minds. Okay, because I'll say be there at 6, and you guys will be there at 6. And then I'll go, okay, we're ready to go. And then you guys will just be standing around and still going. And that's when Jeff and Melissa and I will go, all right, we're moving. And everybody go, okay. And so we're going to go to a local pub. It's a nice little menu. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a fun experience. Anybody who is not in the car, raise your hands. So 1, count them up, Melissa. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you guys won't be going to dinner. Now we know that we don't have to worry about that. No, you guys will be going to taxis, but that looked like we need 2 7-passenger taxis.
Yeah.
All right, so go set that up with the front desk, would you?
Okay.
Just tell them that I'm changing the reservation.
Okay.
Okay, so that's dinner. Who else has questions for me? I feel like there's unanswered questions.
So with
Yeah.
this whole marketplaces, I think it's a great opportunity. Do you think there's a natural time for work like that? And you feel like you're well established on Amazon?
I think you should have a certain volume, not maxed out, but a certain volume threshold that makes the Amazon business profitable enough that you're able to start saying, okay, what if I had to put somebody in charge of this marketplace in 3 months, right? So maybe you started yourself, but you're going to put somebody in charge, and then you say, so that means Amazon is covering its own and it's profitable, and in 3 months can afford to pay a person to manage your channel, your other channels. And then within a 3-month period, those channels should start to contribute, and then within 6 months, be able to pay for that marketplace manager. This is just a rough guideline for you. But if you are just, it's like, hey, if Amazon's kind of hit and miss, 1 month I'm profitable, next month I'm not, don't get ahead of yourself. Amazon's still the easiest way to get the most volume. And then as you go, and as you have the system now, it's so easy, it's easy to experiment. So that's my opinion. You may have a different one.
I do have a different one.
There you go.
Especially if you say, well, you're not doing well on Amazon, or it's hard to list your product well. Especially if you source a new product and you have a hard time selling it, use another marketplace to experiment with. Because it's easier, it might be easier to list that certain product, or there might be less competitors. So don't wait until you optimize on Amazon. Just if you have a hard time selling it, try it out in a different marketplace. Just pick one and look at that category and see if you do well.
I agree with that, actually. In fact, I was telling guys earlier on Jorrit, or on Wish, that it's a great potential to blow out stuff. Like if you got stuff that you're, just can't get rid of it, we know that they can sell cheap stuff. That is for sure. And if you have compelling stuff that is relatively fast shipped, that's going to rise to the top of the rankings. And on Wish, their ranking, their machine learning is it's 140 RPM, so $1.40 revenue per 1,000 impressions. If you can hit that number or higher, that algorithm is gonna feed that listing, and it's gonna really reward that listing. And if you can't, then that's gonna be a tough thing to survive. It'll just devalue you, because everything's being ranked 100% of the time. The US deal that we have with Ivy, and again, it applies globally, but through Jorrit and Ivy, we can get you connected. But they give you more exposure to listings than you would normally get. Their algorithm also ranks the more products you have, like if you have 5,000 products with 5,000 items each, their algorithm gives you a lot more love. Because they want to find something, they can sell 5,000 in a day for you. That's what they want. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Hey, that one we agree.
If you put out a product with a stock of 2, then you won't rank at all.
Nothing's happening. Yeah, so that's the nuances. So I highly agree that, you know, if you are having a struggle with a particular product, especially if it's a new thing that you just can't get traction on Amazon, then why not look somewhere else? Certainly before you, you know, write it off or throw it away or whatever. All right, any other questions, answers? All right, takeaway time. Pinkowski, you got one?
I'm digging this marketplace and the opportunity to plug in there, go to all those markets.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm going to be boring as well and say the exact same. I thought that was pretty cool. Good man.
Okay. Any new takeaways, Jim Man?
I'm trying to find something out.
It's like,
Recency, that was great.
yeah. That works, that's okay, that's top of mind. Simon, any key takeaways?
Lots of good content. No, really, no. There was a couple of things that a few guys were speaking about with the URL for the frequently bought together.
Sure.
It's just given me a couple of ideas of how I can actually use that to start taking some products that aren't selling particularly well and start to clear it out. I've been looking for a strategy to start clearing out old stock.
Perfect.
And that would work well for that. And actually sort of maybe pulling stuff and doubling it up on listings.
Right.
So yeah, just all of it's been really good.
Bundles and the frequently bought together can help with that. Matt?
I mean, talk more to him, and I guess also think a little bit more about my employees, like their strengths and optimizing them.
Yeah, that's good. Jason, anything?
Yeah, I'm not really know much about Amazon. I'm really impressed with the raw marketing tactics that have been used. Looks like the olden days in Google.
Yeah.
And it's the same with gaming for the SEO. And just what you have to go through, just makes me be a little bit, which is fantastic. just trying to gain that machine.
That is true.
So yeah, good.
Thank you. Rob?
I guess seriously considering a career change. No, I've really enjoyed it. What I think is really fascinating, some of what Jay says, is there's so many amazing ideas coming from around the table and seeing everyone else write it down. Like, I've worked in digital marketing for years, and you get to a point where you know PPC AdWords inside out, programmatic inside. The real smart tricks and tactics aren't there on the table anymore, but there seems to be so many variables to success, and you each have little nuggets, and you're completely happy sharing them, which is fantastic. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That's unique too.
Yeah, it's happened that, and you know, I think to see some of the tactics and the thing with the click funnels for reviews, well, that's something we can take and apply in eco-flooring, you know, not outside of Amazon, so start to use some of those techniques in different areas. It's been really interesting.
Excellent. Yeah, and by the way, I think you guys, we may see you tomorrow morning at UKFD, but then you guys are carrying on with your lives, as I understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so just, I'm giving you guys the info, you know, if you want to dive into analytics and business intelligence and machine learning with these guys tonight and tomorrow morning at UKFD is the time to do it. Martina.
Wow. Overwhelming today, so much information. I guess automating as many processes as possible and just taking and using all the tools that are available.
I like it a lot. All right, good. Thank you. Achilles.
Yeah, I don't know, everything was gold for me, but yes,
the beginning about the strengths and the personal way is something very big change, I guess. Yeah.
Good, thank you. Constantine?
Yeah, I would agree with that. You guys that the question, the why question was really interesting, and the last part with the mobile channel and linking with the
Yeah, big picture. Thank you. Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to focus a lot more on EU and actually give that to the right employee the strength to do that. Yeah.
Think of what you can accomplish by focusing on strengths, not fixating on weaknesses. That's really powerful.
Good stuff. Nice. Nicole?
I love the forum and as everybody's sharing and having the opportunity to talk more in between sessions, which I think is really useful. I also think we should maybe pull some resources, and somebody's really good at tech setup, marketing, and maybe that we can share a little bit there. Because it'll take us ages to build a funnel, but we're really good at other things, and so I think that's good. And also the computer-based learning, which completely opened my eyes to different opportunities and how our behaviour online impacts that we get targeted, and that's progressive. And then last but not least, your presentation, that was one of my key things of de-risking from Amazon, diversifying and how to go about it. And we have, having a bit of an idea about is you're going to get the business. This is really helpful. Thank you.
Chris, what do you say?
Very much to Josh's point, customer data, I have to say. So we can have it to customers, but it's understanding, segmenting, and actioning on that data and treating people personally as well as a one-to-one relationship. Payment efficiencies, I have to say, in terms of kind of the Veeam and campaigning getting the payment the right sort of currency. Then again, focus on optimising EU. Definitely testing, you guys, I think, in terms of new channels, diversifying, flattening where we have our business. So, and obviously, and then a couple of review hacks for.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, those are always nice. Thank you. How about Anthony?
I'm looking forward to getting complementary skills in the team that work with my strengths, or rather combat my weaknesses. Because I can feel the gaps. I just know that I can just go back and do that straight away, which is
nice, actionable. That's good stuff. Josh, anything?
I think, generally echoing what the guys said, just I was almost outside of times like having a bit of an eye on me with that. I think probably our board of it, just the fact that my assumption was probably there was more of a closed ecosystem, but actually a lot of activity going on outside of Amazon that's contributing to that whole strategic development of it. So yeah, I'd say that's probably key.
That's good. Jorrit?
Well, a couple of things. Why was a good start. That was actually a good reason to come here as well. So I'm going to work on that the next couple of months. My whole team is going to be doing some tests, go tests.
Yeah.
We're expanding the team rapidly at the moment, so we need the good people with the correct strengths. So that's going to be helpful, and I love to hear you guys share all these tactics and tricks. I'm excited to see any of you guys actually applying that to one other marketplace and see how well you're going to do.
Yeah, it could be a fun case study.
Yeah.
Hey, we just did this, and then wow, this happened. So listen, the point we started today, we talked about you got to break paradigms. You got to be out of your normal element, and that's what we try to do each day, right? So tomorrow morning we're going to meet. So everybody should do their breakfast themselves. The hotel, breakfast buffet is nice. Oh, I love that proper English breakfast. Oh my God, I swear to God, I missed that. I had a moment of peace earlier today. It was really nice. I almost teared up.
What do you usually eat?
It's not a proper English breakfast. I eat the same stuff in the U.S., but no, it's never as good as here. It's just amazing. So enjoy that. Make sure you got energy for tomorrow. It's going to be a long day as usual. Then at 9, we're going to meet in the hotel lobby, and depending on who's here, I don't think Josh and Jason, are you guys? You probably aren't going to be here.
No.
Yeah, so we'll look at the taxi situation for the morning, and we'll hustle our way over there. And then we're going to walk through. We're going to go in their call center, and of course we're going to be very respectful. This is an ongoing business. We got a couple of things. We don't want to interrupt any sales. I don't want people running over by forklifts.
We do good commission.
That's good.
Never stop sale.
Yeah, that's good. So they may give us, I don't know how we'll break up the team, or we may only allow a few people in the warehouse at a time. But the objective is to let you see a living, breathing e-commerce company. One that is, maybe a scale beyond what you currently have or have been thinking about. And then just how do you deal with, dozens of people? How are the phones coming in? How are you managing? How are you tracking it? All that stuff you're going to see up close and personal. We'll probably spend, an hour-ish kind of just walking through the building. It's a 60,000-foot building. We won't go through it all, but you'll go, hey, that's a warehouse. It's huge. And we'll go look at some of the stuff, and then we'll look at samples. And so you'll get a sense of it. And I think it's a very unique opportunity for you guys to see something up close that's really working. And then we'll probably spend another hour with Adam. He's going to talk to us, and Jason's going to talk to us, and maybe anybody else who's able to, just talking about their experience on building the company and maybe where they came from, where they are now, where they're going. So that you can see, just these are breadcrumbs for you to follow, right? It doesn't matter where you are in your journey. The journey is, just up a path, and you just got to follow kind of where these clues take you. And what's right for you, right? We talked about the why. It doesn't matter if this is exactly relevant, because all the ingredients are largely the same. It's just how you mix them together and when the quantity of each and so on and so forth. So remember, whether it's any of these discussions, they all have an impact to you, even if you don't see it today. So anyway, that's it for today. 6 p.m. in the lobby, please. And if you have questions, I don't know, call Melissa or somebody.